Today, I'm going to show you 5 crucial things you must do if your muscle has stopped growing and you are no longer seeing any gains. Get these 5 things right and you will see massive explosive growth throughout your whole body within 30 days. One plausible reason as to why your muscle is no longer growing is that you simply aren't eating right or enough. I'm going to tell you how to do a complete diet overhaul. How do you quantify enough calories? Does hitting your macronutrients mean eating smartly? Whether you're a beginner or an experienced lifter, this video is going to be useful for you. Stick around until the end and I'll tell you 2 very easy tricks that will further amplify your muscle building efforts. Besides exercising, a healthful diet is key to achieving and maintaining a fit body. For individuals who wish to build muscle, here are important nutrition guidelines you must keep in mind. Number 1, eat enough calories. Calorie consumption is the ultimate fix to the majority of the complaints lifters have regarding their ability to get stronger and or bigger. The reason is very simple. The human body needs a certain amount of calories to maintain its current weight, which is known as the basal metabolic rate or BMR. This figure is different for each person depending on his or her weight, age, muscle mass, activity level, and other factors. A calorie deficit is when your calorie intake is lower than your BMR, resulting in weight loss. On the other hand, it's a calorie surplus when your calorie intake is higher than your BMR, leading to weight gain. So the big question now is, how does one know how many calories his or her body needs? The BMR calculator is the easiest method to calculate your BMR. It uses the Harris-Benedict formula to determine your daily calorie requirements. Since your goal is to gain muscle and bulk up, your priority is to achieve calorie surplus. Once you have the figure from the calculator, simply add 500 to it. The final number is the number of calories you should be eating daily to pack on muscles. For instance, Joey has a calculated BRM of 2,840 calories. Add 500 to that and he would need to consume 3,340 calories to gain weight. For weight loss, simply subtract 500 from your BMR. Eating the wrong foods can gravely impede your muscle building journey. Therefore, it's crucial to not just consume enough calories, but to also, number 2, eat smart. In general, when you have excess calories every day and are training with a good enough workouts, you'll see some muscles growing. That said, if you're stuffing your mouth with just anything you want to eat, consequences be darned, then odds are your potential is going to be limited as you put on more body fat and less lean muscle. If you're eating excess calories every day and training with a decent workouts, you'll grow. But if you're not eating the right foods, the chances are that you'll be limiting your potential, putting on excess body fat, and not growing enough lean muscle. Therefore, when planning muscle building, you should aim for good ratios of the mighty macros: protein, carbohydrate, and fat. Usually, the best macro ratio for muscle growth is 30-50-20. This means out of your daily total calories, 30% should be from protein, 50% from carbs, and 20% from fats. So, taking Joey's calorie diet from above, I'm going to break it up. The goal, 3,340 daily calories. Protein, 30% of 3,340 is 1,000 calories. Divided by 4 is 250 grams of protein per day. Carbohydrates, 50% of 3,340 is 1,670 calories. Divided by 4 is 418 grams of carbs per day. Fats, 20% of 3,340 is 670 calories. Divided by 9 is 74 grams of fats per day. Finally, distribute those amounts over 6 to 7 meals, including snacks, per day. Your post-workout nutrition is also important when it comes to gaining muscle mass, but more on that coming up. Number 3, eat enough meals. Sure, eating 3 meals a day is enough. However, if your goals are more specific than usual, say to put on weight and lean muscle, then 3 meals are never enough. The body functions like a log fire. Too much wood at once and the fire burns slowly and sluggish, but adding wood gradually makes the fire burn more efficiently and bigger. So aim for at least 6 meals a day and make these meals as even as possible. You may be thinking that you've got no time to eat all those meals, but you can with just a bit of planning. Countless ways can be utilized to cook and store food for all those meals. Consider having a few hours on Saturday or Sunday to prepare your lunches and meals for the week. Examples of dishes that can be cooked, then frozen or refrigerated are stir fry, beef stew, pasta bowls, and chili. Weight gain shakes are also a fantastic alternative. Just put some water into a shaker, add protein powder, shake, and serve. These shakes can replace your meals with quality ones containing around 600 calories with good amounts of protein, glutamine, BCAAs, and carbohydrates. Speaking of supplements for bulking up, you should also make it a mission to number 4, drink enough water. Out of all the drinks and beverages in the world, water always comes out superior. This nature's number 1 supplement is, after all, vital for a variety of bodily functions. In fact, being hydrated is extremely important for lifters, athletes, and any other individuals who are physically active regularly. Make sure to keep yourself hydrated before, during, and after your gym sessions. There's practically no excuse not to drink water. What I do is take a bottle everywhere I go so I can just sip out of it throughout the day. For lifters and gym rats, your post-workout meal is arguably the most important meal of the day, which is why it is a must to always. Number 5, fuel after every workout. After your workout, your muscles will be depleted of nutrients that were lost during training. Your protein and creatine levels are both down, and your glycogen supply is exhausted. You may think that a simple whey protein shake would suffice as your post-workout nutrition, but that's completely false. Sure, a protein shake is better than nothing, but it's not enough either to make up for a good post-workout shake. An ideal shake right after an exercise should have 30 to 40 grams of whey protein and 5 grams of creatine. You can also take your shake up a notch by adding 60 to 70 grams of dextrose, the simplest of simple carbs. Dextrose in these doses increases insulin levels. This is beneficial because it helps transport nutrients quickly throughout the body. In other words, creatine, protein, and BCAAs are then quickly absorbed into muscle cells where they're needed for muscle repair to start. Then, an hour later, you should fuel your body with a balanced meal containing protein, complex carbs, and fats. On a side note, following these nutrition rules for overall muscle growth is one thing, but there are also training tips you can do to focus on building your muscles, specifically your arms. More on that coming up later. Number 6, fuel before every workout. The number 1 ingredient of an adequate pre-workout meal is carbohydrates. Carbs are categorized into 2 types, simple and complex. Simple carbohydrates are quickly digested and converted into energy, while complex carbohydrates take longer to process, but offer a longer-lasting energy supply. Complex carbs such as potatoes, brown rice, pasta, oats, and pita bread should be your primary source of fuel when working out. Aside from the food you eat 1.5 to 3 hours pre-workout, what you eat throughout the day also matters. The approach that works best for me is small breakfast plus mid-morning snack plus smaller lunch plus afternoon snack, and then train at the end of the day. This way, I have about 2 hours between my last meal and workout. For my pre-workout meal, I eat something that has protein, complex carbs, and fats, usually keeping the 30-50-20 macros ratio. Gaining muscle is more than just aesthetics now. Your overall well-being is highly impacted in numerous ways, from joint support to calorie burn and so much more. Let's talk more about these briefly next. Here's what will happen to your body once you've fixed your diet and you're now building more muscle. Number 1, burns more calories. The more muscle mass your body accumulates, the more your metabolism speeds up, which means you're burning more calories at rest in a day. A pound of muscle burns around 13 calories daily, contrary to a pound of fat tissue that only burns about 4 calories. So generally speaking, if you're putting on muscle by working out more often, then you're inherently burning more calories throughout your day. Another health benefit of gaining muscles is that it, number 2, enhances insulin sensitivity. Studies have shown that resistance training and muscle building improve insulin sensitivity. This is good because it makes the body more efficient at using insulin to stabilize blood sugar levels. As such, it reduces the risk of developing type 2 diabetes and improves overall metabolic health. Number 3, improves bone health. Putting extra pressure on your bones is actually what helps them grow. Yes, keep doing all those heavy lifting activities because they are great for making your bones stronger. Not only bones, but your joints are also reaping the rewards of having a shredded body. Number 4, promotes joint support. Muscles are a huge support system for the joints. For one, muscles absorb a bit of the impact that radiates through the knees and hips when walking, jumping, and running. The more muscle we have, the more force gets absorbed, saving our joints from long-term damage. Lastly, the muscles ensure that our joints are moving in the proper direction. Number 5, increases strength and power. When you build muscle mass, your overall strength and power improve. This translates into improved performance in activities such as weightlifting, sports, and even everyday tasks. For those who stayed around until the last few minutes of this video, here are 2 things you should also apply to your muscle building routine for greater results. How to build muscles more effectively. Number 1. Breathe. Whether you're training your arms, core, or chest, it's important to coordinate your lifting with your breath. Breathing provides your muscles and heart with the oxygen they need to safely carry out challenging tasks without spiking your blood pressure. One good breathing technique is called abdominal bracing. It's done by inhaling first, then as you exhale, you draw your belly in gently as if you're bracing yourself for a punch in your stomach. Doing so creates a strong trunk and base for lifting, which then protects the body from injury. Make sure to execute your heavy lifting during the exhale. Number 2. Rest and recover. This is a crucial step in building muscle mass and one that you must never skimp on, let alone skip. It might sound counterintuitive, but taking the time to rest is what allows your muscles to grow stronger and bigger. Particularly, getting enough sleep is important. You should be aiming for 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night so your cells can start repairing and rejuvenating. Inadequate sleep renders the tissue repair process less effective and can result in poor muscle gains and possible injury. Substantial sleep combined with protein intake would surely fortify the process of hypertrophy. Training your body for overall muscle growth is great and all, but it may not yield the exact perfect results you have envisioned. Some parts of your body, like your arms, may require a little more training that's specifically catered for them. So, in addition to your existing workout routines and guidelines, watch this next video on how to train your arms properly.